Hello guys, this is Solanki and today in this video we'll be sharing the entire roadmap of starting your own clothing brand with zero investment. Yes, you don't need to invest anything, and by the end of this video I will be sharing a blueprint, the entire PDF with you guys. So stay tuned for it. The link for that blueprint will be down in the description box as well as in the pinned comments. So go check it out. But yes, wait for the entire video. I've shared some very insightful things over here, some things that you will not find anywhere else. It has been shared through my experience of building IMBUZI, a clothing brand, and along with that I will be sharing secrets behind how people are now not even having any type of inventory. They are not investing any kind of money but are still successfully running their own clothing brand. So let's get right into this video and let me share all the valuable secrets over here itself. Now I myself have started IMBUZI, my own clothing brand, and you can go check it out, but here I'll be breaking down every single thing. We'll be covering how to create a website, how to find manufacturers, shipment, every single thing. And by the end of this video I will also be talking about a specific model through which you don't have to do any kind of investment upfront, but rather only pay when you get the orders for it. So in the first part I'll be sharing my own journey, my experience of starting IMBUZI and how did we actually go about, because this contains valuable lessons for everyone who's starting their own brand. Maybe it's a clothing brand, maybe it's a streetwear brand, whatever it is. It's very important that you go through the entire video. So when we started IMBUZI, I had no idea about the clothing industry at all. In fact, I was that kind of a guy who had never even ordered clothes online. So for me to start a clothing brand was almost impossible. So that's why I partnered up with a friend of mine who's already there in the clothing business. So whenever you're starting such a business, make sure that unless you're not partnering up with someone, you at least have that edge. My edge was tech and marketing. I was very well versed with building websites. I was very well versed with digital marketing. These two were my strength points. But when it came to the supply chain or manufacturing, that was not my strong point. So that's why I partnered up with someone who did. Now when we talk about IMBUZI, I will also be sharing my own investment figures. So how much did I invest in IMBUZI and where did all that money go? I'll be letting you all know about every single detail. So stay tuned for that. But before that, the first thing that we did was started ordering samples from different manufacturers. We used to contact manufacturers from IndiaMart and all these other websites, or even just go on Google Maps and search for manufacturers near us. And we ordered so many samples. We tested out different products, different fabrics and prints and every single thing. Now this took us close to 2 to 3 months just to do the research and make sure that the quality of products that we are producing, it's going to be top notch. So that was the first step. Yes, it takes a lot of time in doing the research, but we've made it all simple. We've actually come out with our own manufacturers list by IMBUZI. So if you go over to the site, which is manufacturers.imbuzi.in, that will take you to a list of an entire manufacturers list, which you can go and call them and even text them about their services, and you can find all types of manufacturers over there. So that is specifically for clothing brands, but yes, there are manufacturers of all types of things. So if you're starting your own clothing brand, if you don't know where to find manufacturers from, first is what we did: go over to IndiaMart, start searching over there. Or if that does not work for you, the second one is going over to the manufacturers list, because over there all the manufacturers are there with their contact numbers, so you can directly call them up as well. So once you have figured out the manufacturing part, let's move over to the websites and designing, right? So the first thing that you need to do is figure out how you will create your own website. There are a couple of ways to do this, and even in the blueprint that I'll be sharing at the end of this video, I have stated all the different websites and tools that you can use in order to create your website. But over here, let me just share a few secrets. The first one that we used when we were starting out with our own clothing brand was Dukaan. Now Dukaan has a few advantages as well as disadvantages. The advantage and disadvantage is that it is quite easy to use. So because it is easy to use, there are not a lot of customizations available on that platform. So yes, it is an advantage as well as a disadvantage at the same. Apart from this, there are not a lot of plugins over there. So of course, if you're just starting out, you don't need a lot of plugins, you don't need a lot of analytic tools and all of those things. So that is fine for the start. But once you have started growing your brand, shift over to Shopify. And that is exactly what we did. We started off with Dukaan, but then we quickly shifted over to Shopify. Okay, so that is the entire process of how you can create a website. Dukaan is very straightforward. You just have to go over to their website. They have their templates ready, up and running. You can just add in your products and that's it. For the payment gateway, they have their own payment gateway. Dukaan has their own payment gateway, but if you're using Shopify, you would have to actually register for a payment gateway. You can use PhonePay's payment gateway, which we are currently using. You can even use Razorpay. They have started onboarding now. Apart from that, there are other payment gateways as well. I'll just link it down here. But in the PDF, I've mentioned all of these things in detail. So yeah, just wait for the PDF at the end. We'll be talking about that over there as well. So now that covers the website and the tech aspects of the thing. The third thing is designing, right? So you need to design your products. You can't just sell blank t-shirts. So how do you design it? The way we do it is in 4-step process. The first step is inspiration, or going over to say Pinterest, or maybe just looking around in the surroundings, clicking pictures, seeing things. So for example, yesterday I was at a skating park and I just clicked a few pictures, and yeah, I'll probably be taking some inspirations from there. So there are a lot of things that you can do. You can go over to the beach, click some pictures, take some elements from there and design accordingly. So yes, we first take all of these inspirations. You can even go over to Pinterest. There are a lot of design inspirations over there as well. If you have a clothing brand that you look up to, maybe take inspiration from there. Now when I say inspiration, this does not mean just copy paste their entire design and just sell it. That is not how inspiration works. You have to take inspiration, but do not just copy paste it. The second step is to make a mood board, wherein you club all of these inspirations together to look at a mood board, and that's where you get all the color inspirations, you get all the elements, the things that you need to make the final design. The third step goes on to actually making your design. So you now start sketching. First, you can either sketch. If you're not good at sketching, you can just directly go over to Photoshop or Canva or whichever design software that you're using. You can go over there, put in some elements, try to mix and match, see what works, put your own magic into it, and that's how you will start creating a design. And the fourth step is to review those designs, or actually send it over to people who can review it for you. What we like to do is we send these designs out to different fashion designers who are already working in this industry. So they review our designs, and the designs that get approved, we then ship it out and then make some samples out of it. And even after the sampling process, if some designs get discarded, we have to discard the entire cloth and we have to remake the designs, go through the entire process, and then once again we have to ship it out. But of course, this is not for people who are just starting out, or people who want to build a clothing brand which is not up in the premium sector, right? If you're not looking to build a brand in the premium sector, then you don't have to go through all of these steps. You just have to find inspirations, make some design of your own, and then start selling, right? For us, we wanted to make sure that every design that we put out is unique, it's very well thought after, and it's going to be the best quality ever. So that's why we have to go through this entire process. So once we have the designs, once we have finalized all of these things, and once we have finalized the samples as well, we then shift out, or actually ship out, the main order, wherein we make 50 to 100 pieces with the manufacturer, ship it out to different people, put it up live on our website, and that's how we start selling. Okay, so we've put our designs out on the website. Now what? Okay, so now you start marketing it. You now start with the sales, right? So how do you actually do sales? How do you get people, or how do you get customers? The first and foremost thing that we did, first of all, I want to share my experience. So what we did was actually rely on organic marketing itself. So because I had a good following on Instagram, I was documenting my entire journey of building IMBUZI, our clothing brand. So many people started connecting with our brand. They were already a part of it even before we launched any of our designs. So many people were waiting for our first drop, and that's how we got sales, right? So of course this is not the only method, but there are a lot of other methods as well. I've seen different clothing brands take the method of actually investing in ads. This is called inorganic marketing. So basically you run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and that's how you get sales. Of course, nothing wrong with it. You can even go ahead with that. But of course, you need to be a good digital marketer in order to do that, or partner up with an agency which does digital marketing for you. So that's how you can get sales. There are a lot of other methods as well. In the PDF blueprint, I've shared some tactics or some secret ways in which you can actually start getting sales right from the first day itself. Now, when we got into all of these things, the major question that comes up is how much did we actually invest in building IMBUZI, our brand? So in the start, for our first collection, when we just had to get the ball rolling and get IMBUZI onto, you know, the first drop, do the first sales and start getting our first few customers, for that entire process we had to spend around 2 lakh rupees, and that's how we started IMBUZI. But of course, over here I have told you guys in the PDF, even if you don't have any money, you have 0 rupees, you can actually start your own clothing brand. I think it takes around 20 rupees to set up your Shopify store. I think that's the only cost that you would actually have to pay. But apart from that, there's nothing, no investment at all. You can actually start your own clothing brand as well, and that is through a specific model. That model is called POD. So let's dive deep into what this POD model is. POD basically means print on demand. As the name suggests, what it means is once you start getting your orders, once you start getting that demand, only then you start printing your t-shirts. Basically, you put out your designs, you put up mock-ups of it, and how do you do these mock-ups? How do you actually put these out on your Instagram or on your social media handles is something I've talked about in the PDF. But over here, let's talk about once you put out those mock-ups, what do you do? Once you put out those mock-ups, you start getting in sales. And how do you drive those sales? Of course, if you just put it out on an Instagram page with 0 followers, no one will see it. So of course you have to use some tactics. As I said, you can use ads, you can use just word of mouth, tell your friends about it or something like that. But some tactics are left for the PDF, so you can go check it out. But over here, once you start getting in those sales, only then you start making the inventory for it. Actually, you don't even need an inventory. You can just tell the manufacturers that these are the orders, put it up on a profit, say 100, 200 rupees, and for every sale, you're getting that as a profit by not doing anything. The inventory is managed by your manufacturer. He gets it delivered by himself. Everything is handled and done by your POD manufacturer. You don't have to do anything. You're just the person who's marketing those products and also designing them. These are the 2 main things that you need to do. So this actually saves the hassle of shipment, because a lot of people, what they do is they will put in the orders and then they'll return it. So that headache is actually gone off from your head now. The second hassle of setting up your website and everything and integrating those things with the manufacturer, that is also gone. There are a lot of different POD manufacturers. I've listed them in the PDF, but there are some that you can check out. There's Printify. There's another one also, I'll just link it over here. But yes, go check these POD manufacturers out. They are pretty good, and yes, they can help you with doing the entire model, just setting up your Shopify store. Now, of course, finding these POD manufacturers is actually tough. It's not as easy as it sounds, but we have tried to make it easier by making the entire list of manufacturers. You can go over to manufacturers.imbuzi.in. The entire list is available. Just search for POD. Okay, so there might be a lot of manufacturers that have written POD in their description. So yeah, go check them out. If they are supporting POD, if they are supporting low MOQ orders, if they do all of those things, you can contact them as well. So in order to make things even simpler than that, because going through the entire list will take a lot of time, To make it all simpler, I've made the entire PDF. Now this PDF was actually consulted by, or while I was making it, I was actually consulting with a lot of other clothing brand owners that have done POD in the past and have made like lakhs and crores of money per month. So I'll just be sharing all of those specific points in detail over there. But enough talking about the PDF. What does it actually contain? The PDF contains the entire roadmap of first creating a website. As I mentioned, of course, you can go over to Dukaan, Shopify and all these platforms and you can create a website for free or at a very cheap cost. But over there I've listed down a lot more tools. Along with that, I've also shared the secret of how we started with IMBUZI and how we created our Shopify themes. Along with that, I've also shared the links to some of the most favorite or my favorite Shopify themes that you can go check out. After that comes designing, right? So when we were talking about designing, I have shared all the knowledge over here as well. But in the PDF, I've shared some AI tools, some tools that we've used to create mockups, how to send these designs to manufacturers, and all of those things has been shared over there as well. Next comes sales. So when I was talking about sales, I'd mentioned a secret method that you guys can use in order to boost up your sales, even if you don't have any customers, even if you don't have any money, or with zero investment, you can start off with sales. So how to do that? I've done some calculations and I've seen that you can actually get around 90 orders by just getting that one method right. 90 orders per month. So yes, people just overcomplicate sales process. They go over to ads, they start with Facebook ads, Instagram ads and all of those things. Those things are not required. In fact, for our sales, for IMBUZI sales, we don't run any ads right now. So all the sales that you're seeing are all organic. They have come through our organic content marketing or something else, but none of them have been through the ads right now, although we will be starting ads again soon. So yes, to sum it all together, the blueprint or the PDF contains the entire roadmap of someone who wants to blindly start a clothing brand and know what to do step by step. So yes, that's it for this video. If you guys like this video, then you might also like this particular video in which I've shared how I started my own clothing brand, and also this video wherein I've shared how you can create a Shopify website from scratch. So go check these videos out and subscribe to the channel, like this video and share a comment down below.